everyone, I'm so happy you're here, and of course I hope you are ready for a new DIY. Also, I have on my table already things we need for this DIY. We need the smaller tumbling towel blocks, and I always say make sure you have 4 until 5 packages laying around of your tumbling towel blocks, so you always have enough for each DIY. We have here the container. You can make a container for yourself with everything inside you need for a DIY. The most important for me is of course the wood glue, and of course I use a simple brand wood glue. You don't have to pay a lot for your wood glue. You also can use some hot glue, but always be careful. I have here some paint, but this is just an example. Just use any color you like. And I have here an old saucer with an old piece of kitchen towel which is wet to wipe away the glue. So we are ready. I hope you join me. So of course, I didn't tell you what we're going to make. We are going to make some suitcases, but decor suitcases. So you can use them in your decor for all year round. Of course, I give them now a little bit of the winter Christmassy feeling, but I make sure that it's changeable. You can use it for all year round. That's the most important, because or else you have to throw it away. So I'm going to have on my table 5 rows of 10. So we start with 5 rows of 10. So we're going to do the longest line of our glue, and we row them together. We have them flat on the table, and you just simply do on the smallest line of your block, you do some glue. And I always love making displays with some suitcases. I have a couple of different sizes. I also like a little bit more of the old-fashioned suitcases, so I'm going to try to give this one also a little bit kind of an old look, but you can give them a glam look. You can make them totally in the Christmas, in the brighter colors. You can do anything you like. That's the greatest. I only give you the base, and you can change it up any way you like. So we do very simple, and it is, of course, it takes a little moment of your time, but at the end all the DIYs are going most of the time very quickly. I had a while ago I had a question, how long do you do over one DIY? But most of the time it's only in totally, if you could glue everything after each other, then you only do it in only maybe a couple of hours, maybe 1 or 2, but you have some drying time. So that's always the thing with what is keeping you up, because that's why it takes a little longer, but it's always in a couple of hours. It's easy to do. So again, I have now here my 5 rows of 10. I'm going to squeeze from the inside to the outside, and at the end we're going to squeeze real hard on the side. We start here and we go to the outside, because if we're going to give it some pressure immediately on the side, if I do this way, it goes probably out of each other. And if it happens, it doesn't matter, because you can easily glue it together again. So you see, this one's also already want to pop up. Squeeze it, press it down, make sure that you have a straight line in a moment. But first we're going to wipe away the glue. We're going to squeeze it. We're going to get our wet old piece of towel, and we're going to wipe away. And that's the greatest about wood glue. You do some soap on top of here, and some hot water, and you already are just easy getting it off, because you can use your old piece over and over again, because the wood glue is not staying inside of here. Again, always go back. If you wipe it away, make sure that you still have a straight line. And I go back, and then I'm going to give it only a couple of minutes. So I did wait a couple of minutes, and I'm gently going to turn them this way over here, and I'm going to place this one on the side. And of course he's still not dry, so it doesn't matter if he falls apart, just place them together. But it is very vulnerable, but you just do some glue on the top side on 4 of them, and this is number 3 and number 4, and we only wait a couple of minutes, because we can then easily redo it and fill in the open gaps, because we don't want open gaps. And if you do and you don't get them away anymore, you can use some spackle or maybe some wood filler. So very gently, see, and you see already mine is also going out of each other, but it doesn't matter. You just Make sure, work with it, give it some pressure from the sides, and then we're going to go to this side again and we're going to squeeze them together, and we're going to make sure that we have one straight piece. It takes a little of your time, but it doesn't matter, just take your time. And I'm going to go look for that I have this one also in a straight line. You see I have here a little open gap. I'm going to try to, yes, he is gone, and this way, and we're going to the side, and now we have one side of our suitcase, and now we're going to do the other side, and then we're going to do the real sides of our suitcase. Of course, this is the front side and the back side, not the sides. So you see already on the table is the same way as we did the front side. We're going to do the back side, 5 rows of 10, and of course, don't worry, I don't do all of them together with you. So, so don't be scared. I only do this row, and then I'm going to do the rest a little faster. And let me know in the comments down below if you are liking also to decorate with suitcases. And I have mine already for years, and I think they have already so many layers of paint. Sometimes I really have to throw away my decor because I change it up really fast, because I like change items, especially when I buy them in the thrift store. I always like to give my own touch on it, just change up the color, and you can easily buy very cheap home decor, so you don't have to pay a lot of money. But I have to say that especially I don't know if it is in other countries the same, but at least here in the Netherlands, the thrift stores are really getting up in prices, because if you count a couple of years ago, they were very cheap. But the last period after we had COVID, everything did go up a big time. So I don't know if it is still only here in the Netherlands, or maybe also in other countries. Let me know in the comments down below. I watch also on YouTube a lot of people who are drifting, because I like drifting, and I also see there the prices. Sometimes the prices are even more expensive in other countries than with us, and I find it with us already very expensive. So, oh, I'm already done. Expensive. So let me know in the comments down below if you also go to thrift stores and change it up for your own decor, because it's so much fun to do. And sometimes people say, but I can't do it because I can change it up this way and I'm not handy. I am also not really handy. You have to learn by the years, because I'm already 56. So you learn already by years. So just give it a try. If you are not familiar with thrift stores, I hope you really give it a try, and then change it up in the color of your... Oh, you see, this is what I mean. This is also DIYing. I pressed too hard and too fast. Oh, you see, and I'm still, I'm still. This is what I mean. You just place them back and you just start for the inside. Talking and gluing is not always a great thing to do. So I'm going to get my piece of kitchen towel, and you see already this is also DIYing, and I have this all the time because I'm sometimes with my head somewhere else and I'm not watching, and then I make one big mess out of it already. So don't worry, you see already now you can really see that I'm an amateur also, like everyone else, because I even do the same mistakes over and over again. So we're going to give it a couple of minutes. So now we're going to turn these pieces also to the side over here. Oh, you see where I'm stuck on the table. I have to place it up, and I always turn my pieces around, wipe away. If everything is glued to the table, always try to move it around, place it up, clean up, and turn it on the other side, and then clean also the back side. So now we're going to place this one on the side and this one, and we do the same like we did with the front side, and we do some glue over here, and make sure that each block has a little bit of the glue. That's important because it needs to glue very nicely together, especially if you're making a plank and you want to saw it later. Of course, we don't have to saw our suitcase, but if you have pieces you have to saw, always make sure that you have on each block some glue, or else it falls apart when you are going to get your saw. Now I'm going to very gently press it on the side to make sure that we fill in the open gaps, and then we go back and we go to fill with the fingers on the side because we want to have a straight line over here. And we're going to wipe away the glue so we can see what we do. And again, give it some pressure and fill in the open gaps. And then we're going to lay this also apart with the front side, and we're going to focus us on the sides. So for the sides of all sides, the top side, the bottom and the other sides, we need in totally 12 rows of 3. 12 rows of 3. So we do again, flat on the table, we place some glue on 2 of them on the side and we row them together. You do here the same, and with this one. And if you have this 12 pieces of 3, then you already have the whole all sides of your suitcase. Because I don't do mine too wide because the spaces are not too big here. So, but of course, if you want to have it bigger, then you have to go for maybe 4 wide or maybe 5, but then it will be a very big suitcase. But of course, you can do it, of course. And you can also go for 2 layers if you want it even have smaller, then go for 12 rows of 2. So you can size up or size down. And the last pieces of 3, and this one, and this is number 12, and we're going to squeeze them together until one straight line, and here you go, so to the top, and squeeze it, and we're going to wipe away the glue and give it a couple of minutes. So now we have our 12 pieces of 3 and we gave them a couple of minutes. What we're going to do, we're going to turn 5 of them this way and this way. We're going to carefully put them on your hand and then do some glue on the tops and you row them together. So again on the tops, and you do over here and you place them down, and number 5 is the closure up. And we're going to carefully and gently squeeze it together. Make sure that you have the sides straight because you want that it is one nice piece. So feel with your fingers all the time, and if everything is straight, you let it rest. Of course, you do 5 of them over here. And I see already that I have not enough, because this is I was counting for the smaller one, but we're going to do 1 of 5, and we're going to do this one, and we're going to do over here, and over here, and this one, and we're going to place this one, and we gently squeeze it together until one piece, and we're going to wipe away the glue. So now we already have the sides from the wider side, but of course now we need also the smaller sides. But you see already, I need for them more pieces than only this 2. So I'm going to make a couple of extra. You see that in a moment. So you see already on the table, I was counting for a smaller suitcase. And you see this one is of course the longer side, and we need for the smallest side, we need 3 rows of 3. So we need in totally 6. So I have here already 4, and the 2 we already made. So again, we do 4 extra. So you need for the, not in totally 12 rows of 3, but you need 16 rows of 3. And look what I do. You see already what I'm doing. I couldn't give a better example like that I'm an amateur. I'm talking and I'm doing exactly the things I don't need to do. So again, over here, I'm sorry, it's one chaos today, and it isn't even Monday. It is a Wednesday over here, so I can't give the say that it is Monday because it isn't. So I'm going to squeeze them, give them or this for also a couple of minutes, and then we're going to glue them together. So you see now the 6 pieces of 3 on the table, and we already made the 2 of 5. So because I don't want that you get confused, you have for the size in totally 16 rows of 3. 5 for this side, 2 pieces of this one, and you need 3 on the other side. So because I don't want that, because I'm doing it wrong, that you making a mistakes. So again, 3, and we do here, and this one. And we're going to roll them very gently together, give it some pressure, make sure that the sides are straight. And of course, if you have a carpenter square, you don't have to worry about it, then everything is straight. But I do it always without. I'm just something that I use. I have one laying around, but I always do it with my hands. So now we have all the pieces of our sides, and we're going to give it at least 20 minutes. So now we're going to make the handle of the suitcase. Of course, we need 5 rows of 2. So, and over here, so we need 5 rows of 2, and we're going to glue them very easy, the same like we did with the other one, just gently on top of each other, over here, and the last. And of course, you're going to squeeze them, place them in the straight line, you're going to squeeze them, and again, also over here, and this one, and then we're going to wipe away the glue, and we're going to give it some couple of minutes rest. So I gave it a couple of minutes. I'm going to turn 3 of them on the side. I'm going to do some glue on the tops and on this one, and then we're going to make this one piece. We're going to squeeze it from the side, make sure that we have a straight line, and we're going to wipe away the glue, and we're going to let this dry in for at least also a minute of 5, 6, and then we're going to place this two, of course, on top of here. So I did wait a couple of minutes. Now I'm going to do some glue on the side over here, so like this, and I place it over here. I do here the same, some glue on the side, the same, and we're going to place this one on this side, and then we're going to give it some pressure from the underside, not at the top, only the underside. Feel with your fingers that you keep this in a straight line, like this. And so now your handle is finished, and we're going to let this dry in also for at least a half hour until an hour. So now we're going to get our 2 sides, the bigger ones and the smaller ones. So we're going to place this one here, and what we're going to do, we're going to do some glue on this side and this side, and this side and this side, and then we're going to glue both of them together. So we do some glue on this side of the shorter part of the side, and we place it on the inside. We do here the same on this side and on this side, and we place it over here. Of course, you have to look, take your time for it, and we're closing it up with this one. So again, we're going to give it a little bit of pressure, not too much, and make sure that you are happy with the size of this. It is not the size, but the how it is glued together, and then you're going to give it a half hour. Of course, I have to make sure that this is glued nicely, so I'm going to give the corners some pressure, like this. I do here the same, and on this side also. Feel with my fingers, make sure that you have it in a straight line, and I do here the same on this side. Wipe away a little with my fingers the glue, and I'm happy how it is looking right now, and I'm going to leave this a half hour. So now we're going to get the tricky part, because I have to place this one aside. So I hope this will work. So I'm going to place it over here. I'm going to get one of the bigger pieces, and I'm going to glue of course this one on top. No, I have to be thinking, because one side is fitting better than the other side. So you always have to look for, place it on top of your piece and then look for which one is fitting the best on top of each other. But sometimes it's a little bit wobbly, so always look before you glue it, which part is this better, or is this better, or have I turned it around. That's why I always look before you glue it, look how you must do it. So I was thinking this one is the right side for the flat side. So I have to debate if I'm going to turn it or if I'm going to place it on top of here. I'm going to take the risk and I'm going to do the lines on top of here. So I'm going to go around. I'm going to go over here. And I'm going to go over here. Oh, and of course we're going to go on this side. Make sure that you have enough glue, because you can always wipe it away. So, and this one, and now we're going to carefully, we hope that we get it on top of here before it breaks. And we're going to let it fall down. And we're going to make sure that we give it a little bit of pressure. And then we're going to feel with our fingers so we have it nicely on top of each other. And of course, always go around with your, this way, go around and already wipe a little bit of your glue away. So we're going to go a little to this side. And we feel with our fingers until we have the shape we want. And this way. And then we're going to let this dry in for at least a half hour also. So now I have my second part, and of course I'm going to do some glue around the box. Over here. Oh, over here. And make sure that we have all the parts. And if you are really handy, you can make them, of course, that the suitcase can go open. For me, it's just decorative way. So I'm going to place it close. So I'm going to place this one on top. Feel with my fingers. And I'm going to give it some pressure. Over here. Make sure that I have a straight line on this side. And this one has a little bit of overlay. So, and now I'm going to place it down this way, and I'm going to let this dry in for at least an hour before I'm going to paint it. So if everything is correctly, you have a box like this, and you have a handle like this way. So we're going to place this aside, and we're going to make now the smaller size suitcase. So now for the smaller size smaller size suitcase, we are going to use 8 rows of 7. So 8 rows of 7. So very easy. We do the same like we did, of course, with the bigger size. You just lay them flat on the table, and you just do the smallest line of your block. You do some glue, and you're going to fill in and make it one row. I only do this one together with you, and this is already for the front side and for the back side of your suitcase. So you have to do everything in one time. So the rest I will do a little faster. So now we have our 8 rows of 7. We're going to turn 4 of them this way, and we turn 4 of them this way. And of course I did already, because mine is very easy to turn, but probably if you do it this way and you didn't clean the back side, it will stick on your table. So always make sure that if you give it a couple of minutes, then go a little bit like this and place it straight up, wipe away your surface, and then turn it this way and do also this side clean. And then you can easily move them around, because probably when you don't do the back side, you think, oh, my blocks are stuck, everything is a mess. Just easy, wait a couple of minutes, then you do this way, place it straight up, clean your surface, and place it down on the other side like this. Then you have everything clean again. we're going to place 3 of them straight up. We do some glue on the tops. We do some glue over here and on this one. And we place them down this way, and we're going to row them very easy on top of each other, and very gently we're going to give it some pressure from the side to fill in the open gaps and make one piece out of it. And we need to go over here, and we're going to wipe away the glue. We do here the same, place them straight up, and you're going to do some glue over here, and this one needs a little more over here. And then we're going to easy fill in the rest of the rows, and we're going to make sure, and you see already, at least I see already, that one of my rows is a little shorter than the other one. So I have to look from which block is much shorter. You can see it over here, you see, like this, and this one over here. So I'm going to look for how it is possible, because I think there's one block which is a lot smaller. So I found my block. This one was much smaller. This is the small, a little bit smaller than this one. So I pulled it out and I placed another one in, and I'll use this one later. But you have to make sure, because it is a suitcase, so the front and the back side need to have the same size. So I'm going to let them rest now for at least a half hour on the side. So in the meantime, while the front side and the back side are drying, I have here my 12 rows of 3, just like we did earlier, but then it didn't need to be 12, it has to be 16 for the bigger one, but for the smaller one we need 12 rows of 3, and you lay them also again flat on the table, and you just row them together. And this is also for the whole suitcase, for the whole side. So, and again, row them together. I only do this row, and then the rest I do a little faster. So we gave it a couple of minutes, all 12 pieces of 3. We're going to turn them, 4 of them, and we do this one also. So we do some glue on the side, on the tops, place it down, do on the tops, place it down, and you do number 3, and number 4 is the closure up. Make sure that you feel with your fingers, give it some pressure from the side. You do here the same, some glue on the tops, and over here, and over here. And then you're going to fill in with number 4 again, and you're going to squeeze it, feel with your fingers that you have a nice straight line, and you're going to wipe away the glue. Over here, here the same. Now we're going to do 1 of 2, and we're going to make sure that we glue them nicely together until one piece. We do here the same, some glue on this side, and we're going to place this one together. This will be the shortest sides, and again, feel with your fingers that you have them still in the straight line, and just redo them if they are a little out of line. Just place them together, because that's the greatest about wood glue. You can easily redo it. So you see already this one can come out, and you just press them together again, and going to give them at least kind of 20 minutes drying. So in the meantime, while the sides are drying, we are going to take 4 pieces of 2, because we need a handle also for the smallest suitcase. So we do 4 pieces of 2, and we do glue them together very gently. You're going to squeeze them, place them in a straight line, squeeze them, and over here, and number 4. And we're going to give this also a couple of minutes drying. So now we're going to turn 2 of them. We do some glue on the tops, and we're going to place them together and give them also a couple of minutes drying. So now we're going to do on this one also a little glue on the underside. So like this, and we place them straight up against here. We do here the same, a little glue on the underside, like this, and just place them together. And we're going to squeeze on the underside, not on the top, but on the underside. And make sure that you get a nice straight line. Of course, it's a little bit this way, and then we're going to let this dry in. So now the handle is drying. We are going to get our sides over here and over here. And now we're going to do some glue again on the smallest parts, over here and over here. And we place them on the inside again, just like we did with the bigger suitcase. And on this side. And we're going to place them over here. And we fill it in with this part. And then we're going to gently give it some pressure. And over here. And if you have the shape you want, then let it dry in for at least a half hour. So now again, we also place this one carefully on the side. And we're going to get one of our pieces. We're going to do some glue again, the same like we did on the other one. We're just going to go around, over here and over here. And this, if it doesn't, one time you just go a second time. And we're going to go carefully place this one on top and let it fall down. And make sure that you give it a little bit of pressure, not too much. And feel with your fingers, of course, get already your towel and go one time already around the sides to wipe away most of the glue which is coming out, because that's not what you want, too much glue. Again, feel with your fingers. The sides are a straight line, and this one has a little overlay over on each side, not too much. So I feel with my fingers. If you do it for years, then you really need, you know what to feel. So that's why I feel with my fingers. And then I always know that I have it on the size I need. So, and now I'm going to let it dry in for at least a half hour. So now I'm going to do again some glue on this side. Again, go around your box. And like I told you, I don't leave mine open, but you can also use it as organizers. So you can change it up any way you like. So I'm going to place this one on top, over here. And I'm going to give it a little bit of pressure. And then I'm going to press it down, feel with my fingers the sides. And I'm going to get my small brush again and this one. And I'm going to very gently wipe away the glue on this side and on this side. And then we're going to let it dry in again for at least a half hour. So in the meantime, everything is drying right now. I was looking at my smallest handle, and I think these sides are a little bit too high because I have the same height that the bigger one has. So I'm going to get my pencil and I'm going to get one of the blocks and I'm going to place them on top of here, and I'm going to over here, and I'm going to make a line, and I'm going to saw off a little piece because I think he's a little bit too high. So you see, I'm only going to saw off this piece, and I do on the other side the same. Place a block this way at the ending, and you just make a line over here. And I'm going to get my saw. You can easily do it with a hand saw, but always make sure that your handle is dried at least for an hour and a half. So you see already, now we have the suitcase, at least the which will be the suitcase, of course. I'm going to do mine in the brown color, but of course choose any color. Maybe you can spray paint it in gold or silver. You can make it black for people who like black and white, Sharon. So you can change it up any way you like. So I'm going to do the brown color because I do the accents. I will do black. So I'm going to take my time, and I'm just going to give one little layer of my brown, but of course this is not really covering paint, so it gives a little bit shining through, but I like that. But if you want to have it totally covered, then you may have to do it 2 times, but I'm going to take my time for it. Of course, you see when it is finished. now I have my boxes in the brown color. I'm going to use now a piece of kitchen paper to do some paint on top, because I'm a lazy lazy person. So if I'm finished, I can easily throw it away. I don't have to clean it. So, but if you are not like me, then of course make sure that you have a little bit over here, and I'll do the handles, of course, in the black color. So I'm going to do easy, get my brush, and I'm going to give this a nice dark, yeah, it's almost black. This is going for gray, but it is black. So you see already, I'm going to paint this in the black color in my own time, because you don't want to be bored that I am painting my handle. So you see when it's finished, so you see already on the side other things are painted which are drying. What I'm going to do, I found this piece of wood, and I did buy them on Temu. Of course, it's just a simple wooden block with a little carving sides for where you can place some things in. You can easily make them also yourself. You just take 8 blocks, you do this way, place them together, glue them together, do again 8 blocks, place them together, make one piece out of it. Make sure that you let it dry at least 1.5 hours. Then you're going to get your hand saw, and you do easily, you get your saw this way, and you can make a little carve inside, and you also have the same block like I have over here. So I'm going to use this one, because or else I have it for nothing. So easy, just 2 pieces of 4, just glue them together until one piece like this. And then get your hand saw and just go over it and make a little carve inside. And then you have the same like I have over here. So I'm going to color mine in the brown color. So I have 2 of these wooden pieces, and of course they were only, I think, €1, similar like dollars. So they are very, very cheap. So I'm going to glue them together this way, because I want to have them together, because I want to have a little bit of a longer piece. So I'm going to squeeze them this way, and I'm going to give it at least 20 minutes, and then I'm going to paint it in a brown color. So now we have painted all the pieces, and of course I am not really happy how this paint is dried up, but I'm going to work with that later. To do with a little brush, I'm going to do a little adjustment, because I don't really like how it is covered, but it doesn't matter. I hope your paint is well. So I'm going to get my ribbon, and I have here some velvet black ribbon. I'm not going to use the velvet side, I think, or I will, I don't know. Yes, I think I'm going to go for the velvet side. So I'm going to go for this one. I'm going to place this on the side over here, and I'm going to do some glue over here, and I'm going to glue it, I think, over here a little bit halfway, because you have to be sure that your handle, because I will glue this later on top, can come over here. So I'm going to go a little out of the line, and then I'm going to glue this on top. So I have the handle in place. I'm going to do at the ending, I have a straight side of my straight line on my, hope you can see it, because it's not really great to see. This way is better. I have a straight, I'm going to do at the ending a little bit of glue, a line, and I'm going to place this over here like this. And I'm going to let it dry in for a little moment. Then I'm going to turn it this way. I'm going to do some glue, a little over here, and I'm going to place this one in a straight line. Press it down, follow the shape of your box over here, and I'm going to let this be. And I have another piece of ribbon, the same, also with an ending. I do here the same, do a little line of the glue, and we're going to place it on the same height like we did with the other one. But of course we have to look for that we have it over here. I think I need to go a little this way. So, and now I'm going to place this aside, because I don't need it anymore. I'm going to do some glue, and over here I place it down, and again press it together. And so we're going to make sure we place this one down, and I'm going to follow this shape and I'm follow this shape. So with some glue, but of course take your time for it, it's so easy to do. So I'm going to make sure that I'm going to do some line on my ribbon over here, and I'm going to place this one and make sure that I have a straight line over here. This is one. I'm going to do on this side the same. Make sure that you have some glue following over here, and we place this one also in the same shape. Go over it like this, and then we're going to place this one on this side. We do here the same. We do now some glue over here, and we go with the same shape, and again squeeze it down, and the same over here. Again, I'm going to make my line, and I press this one down over here, and I'm going to give it a second rest, and then we're going to place this one on this side. And I'm going to, of course you can do it on the ribbon, I now do it this way, I hope this will work also, but we will see. And place it down in the same shape. Again, we're going to get away this piece of glue because he is over here. And now we do this side. Of course I need to get it off. Sometimes with me, if you watch me, I think you think, what's she doing? What's she doing? Because it's one big mess most of the time. But it doesn't matter. At the end, you have to look for if it works or not. So, and we're going to fill this in. And now we're going to get the part which we are going to look like that it's a kind of a belt. Oh, of course, I'm going to place this one straight up again. And you see now we have a piece of overlay over here. And first I'm going to cut off the ribbon. So my camera did cut off the piece of this video. Of course, what we're going to do now, I did cut off my ribbon and I have it cut off the same length over here. You see already, this one is the same length. What I'm going to do, I'm going to fold it like this. And I'm going to cut off a little piece, but of course I need to cut off the different side because I want to have a point and not a fishtail. So I'm going to do this way, and I'm going to cut off this piece, and then in a moment I show it to you. At least I don't know how it looks like, but it looks really strange. This is not the tail I wanted to have. You see already I have not did cut it nicely. So this is better. Now I show you. This is what I mean. Just a simple point on top. So we place it over here. I do here the same. I'm just going to fold it. And I'm going to make sure that I double it up the right way, of course not the way I did earlier. And I'm going to make sure that I'm going to cut off a little piece. And of course it's always the trick to get it even. You never know. So I'm going to look for if I have the same size. Over here I'm almost having the same size. So, and I'm going to give some glue on this because I want to glue this part also together exactly on top of each other over here, and the rest like this I leave open. And I'm going to get my marker and we are going to make a belt on top. So I did make a kind of a belt on top. It is hard to see because the camera doesn't pick it up right. So For now, I'm going to get my handle, and I'm going to get my wood glue, and I'm going to glue it on his place. So of course I'm going to do some glue on this side and on this side, and I'm going to place this exactly in the middle. Of course I have to be careful that I really have it in the middle. I just place it down, and I'm going to look on all sides if I have it on the place I need. I think I need to go a little bit to my side over here, and now I'm going to give it a little bit of pressure, and we're going to let this dry in. So now I did also the smaller suitcase, and I'm going to try to get the buckle, I think you call it a buckle, we call it gesp, a little bit better, that you can see it a little bit better. So I'm going to look for that. But of course the suitcases are ready, and you see in a moment how it turned out in the quick impression. And here you see finally a quick impression of my Tumbling towel block suitcases in 2 sizes. Of course you don't have to make both of the sizes, you can always make one, especially because I would make the bigger one, I would make the handle a little smaller, the same size like I did with the smaller one. Of course, always when you're making a DIY, you always have something that you don't like, or maybe you would do different another time. Again, everyone, I hope you enjoyed this DIY, and if you're new here, I hope you will click the red subscribe button, give me a thumbs up and hit the bell, so you will be notified every time I upload new DIYs. For more DIYs, come on over to the description box, there you find the link for the DIY channels. Hope to see you there. Have an amazing day. See you in the next one. Bye.